Ivia do Luzono Obuz Uzola Nopwa. I want to talk about the trend of events. For this past 2 years, it has been quite very interesting for all citizens of the Benin Kingdom. For those who understand what it takes to be a Benin man or a Benin woman. There have been cascades of issues bordering on the unity of the Edo people. Today is not a day to talk about our differences, but to talk about the commonality of our interest. A people united under the sole leadership of the Oba of Benin, without undermining governmental institutions and every other institutions that were created or imposed on the Edo people by the onslaught of the British. Issues ranging from Ogiane to the issues ranging to Ulegu. From there, issues raising to the Benin artifact, and most recently, issues as regards the balkanization of Benin Kingdom by some Enigi. In these past 2 years, we have fought with a conviction based on loyalty to the throne, our principles, and our integrity. Today we share in the victory of His Royal Majesty Obaiwere II Ogidigan, the Oba of Benin. And today we thank the President, Muhammadu Buhari, for constitutionalizing our stolen artifact. It is one of the smartest moves by His Royal Majesty, understanding that it is not just issues currently bedeviling the artifact as to ownership. It will be an issue that will continually prop up by the coming of different state governments or even federal governments. So it was a smart decision by His Royal Majesty to plead to the conscience of the President to gazette this and constitutionalize what he owns. Some Edo people were not happy about it, but majority people of Edo extract were very glad and happy that all this fight for the true ownership of the Benin artifact has been put to rest. For those who were not too happy, this is not a video to mock your loss. As a matter of fact, there were no loss. It is a victory for all of us. However, some feel bad, but we can look at the differences, at our differences, and begin to look at ways that we can amend our differences. There is strength in the unity of the Benin nation. There are always two ways. The binary of life itself, it expresses two ways to look at things, the positives or the negatives, or the plus and the minuses, or however the wrongs and the right, the binary reflection of life itself. For I have looked at it critically from different perspectives, and I realize that they are not losses. everyone is a winner. For those who felt there was a need for the state government to be in charge, it doesn't really matter anymore. But for us who believe that the true owner is the Oba of Benin, it doesn't also really matter anymore. The law has been passed. We have to come together as a people, united under their Oba, the Oba of Benin. Like I said, this is not a video to undermine every other institutions. But like it is, not everybody have the same ideology or perspective about life. For me as an individual, I see the royal institution as the most important institution that God has given to us as a Benin people. I might be wrong, I might be right, but that I'm old enough to take that decision. Likewise, other Benin people could also believe that the governmental institution is the best institution that God has given them, where they could voice out democratically their opinions. Binary reflections of life. But we must understand one principle, which is we are first Edo before any other thing. And by default, being an Edo man or woman, we have the loyalty to the throne that has persevered throughout history for the past 2060 years. I thank all the Benin patriots who has fought day and night for their heritage. I thank you truly. There are those who were very happy for all of these cascades of problems. But there were those who were not happy, but yet they have to fight for the commonality of the interests of their heritage. I fought believing in the principles that have been bequeathed onto the modern generations by the past generations of the old. History has reminded us over these years that people share in the victories that were achieved by very few. We pride ourselves as being sons and daughters of warriors and heroes, but not all of those sons and daughters actually fought wars in the past. So like I said, as an Edo man or woman, whether you fought for this or not, you can pride yourself as a partaker of the victory, as there are no losses to all of this. The artifact has just been constitutionally returned or given to the right owner. And that is a win-win situation for all Edo people all over the world, whether those who share in our enthusiasm of victory or those who do not. It doesn't really matter. We are first Edo before any other thing. So I thank you all. I, Immanuel Amowe Ezoluwa, has been an ardent follower of the ways of our ancestors. Maybe I am not of this era, and that is why I am clocked too much in defending and preserving our history. But I must be very frank. I do not take the glory because it was a victory for all of us. A fight that we can be proud of, that we fought gallantly. I thank all the patriotic Edo sons and daughters who joined, even some of those who are past, notably my brother, Dr. Oguname. He fought, but today he's not longer here with us to share in this joy and happiness. But the most important thing, tomorrow Izoluwa will not be here, but keeping the memories of those who we believe are very important to the cause of our historical heritage will continue to inspire generations unborn. There are two sides of our history. Those who were protagonists to the royal institution and those who were antagonists to the royal institution. I like to be in the side of the royal institution. It is a decision I took somewhat about 7 years ago. And if you ask me today, it's probably the best decision I've ever taken in this life. But I do not hold anybody, anything against anybody if they antagonizes the royal institution. It has been part of the history of our land that where they are supporters, they are bound to be defaulters, or they are bound to be people who antagonizes. Not everybody is happy with the state government, but some persons are happy and some are not happy. The binary reflection of life, like I said, no institution can make the entire people 100% happy. There must be some people who believe otherwise. But I plead to the conscience of those who believe otherwise that there is a need for us to have a united Benin. A united Benin is stronger than a divided Benin. So I appeal to the conscience of those who feel that however gallantry that we are proud of was not done in the proper way. The most important thing, nothing is fair in war. We believe in a cause and we fought gallantly for it. We got the victory and we are happy about it. So I must thank all of you, and for the Inige who felt that it was my live video that was why they were suspended. I want to reiterate that their decisions were what led to them being suspended by His Royal Majesty. His Olowa has no hand in their present debacle. And I'm also very happy for those who are retracing their steps. It is the right thing to do. I encourage you to do the right thing. The Benin is too small as at today, knowing fully well in comparison to the great Benin that we were told about, the myths, the history, the legends of what Benin was in the old. We must look forward to how we can expand Benin and not further constrict it. I thank all of you. Moving forward, there might be things that have offended some certain persons. However it may be, Oba Benin still remains our Father, and eternally He will remain our Father. So I thank you on behalf of myself and myself. Like I always say, anything that His Oluwa does or says is based on his personal conviction. So I thank all of you. Oba Osa Novo Duayi Nedu Nogba Oima Waya Worship. I thank you all, and I hope that this message gets to our hearts and be able to convince us that we should stay united and stand united as an Edo. There are no victors or losers in our past 2 years. The fight that we fought in the past 2 years. Why are we saying we don't know? Obama got talked there. He said,